Hello guys. So problem solving is the most important aspect of software development as a whole. Now software development involves many other important aspects like sprint planning, team management, problem solving, debugging and so on, right? So for this video, completely focus on the problem solving part of this software development. Point number one. Arriving at the solution is all the way more important than finding why the question originated in the first place. Before you start jumping into the solution, it's very important for you to find the requirement of the question, that what the question is demanding. However, you should not delve so much deep that you start finding out the why part of the question, that why the question was required in the first place. You should just be focusing on the requirement of the question, so that you are able to reach your solution as soon as possible in the best possible way. For instance, suppose you are required to find the sum of two numbers. Now here, you can ask questions like what will be the range of the values for the input and the output that your function or like your solution can expect. Now this will be very important in the sense that it will help you decide the data type, like integer type, long type, float type. However, if you go and to ask questions like why the sum of two numbers and why not three numbers, well, that is a good question from R&D perspective, but not from the question's perspective. The question has been given to you, you should just be focusing on finding the solution and requirement of the question and not about the origination of the question. Second, having your gang of programming. Now what do I mean by that? So the gang of programming not only helps you to learn and grow with the community that you are a part of, but it also acts like a safety cushion in your periods of back-to-back failures. This is my personal favorite, I would say. Why? Because this also broadens your vision, your horizon of understanding the question. Because you might be able to find a solution to a question, that's totally fine. But were you able to understand the main gist of the question, that why the question was asked in the first place? Like suppose if you are finding the sum of two numbers and you just return a plus b, but it might be very useful for you in certain cases to understand that what should be the data type of the question. It might happen that the sum of two numbers that you are forming might not fit into the data type that you selected in the very first place. And that thing only comes when you discuss more with the community or your gang. Third, upsolving. Now, upsolving is the method or the way of solving the questions after the contest is over, especially for the questions that you were not able to solve when you were given those questions during the real time. Now, why it is important to upsolve the question? See, in a contest, you might have solved n number of questions, but those n number of questions never going to increase your knowledge as per se. It is just kind of sharpening your already known knowledge. But solving one unknown question, that is, solving one such question that you were not able to solve in the real time in the actual contest, that might add to your bag of skills. This indirectly broadens your concepts and your problem solving skills. Fourth, being time bounded. Now, when you're solving a question in a given time frame, so it grills you from your knowledge perspective, from your understanding perspective, and also from your problem skills perspective. Why? Because eventually it will be very important that you find the solution to the question in a time manner than simply just finding the solution to a question. You can think like you are working for a company and your client demands a solution. Now that solution is pretty much obvious and might come to you maybe a week later, but that might be the deadline. So you need to complete the thinking and the implementation within a week's time. So in real world also, in programming also, you need to come up with the solutions as soon as possible, especially in the given time bounded frame, so that your problem solving skill can actually be put into use by the company. You may ask that how do you improve your time bounded problem solving capability? Well, there is a concept known as short pointers on online judges. that is online coding platforms. Now short contests are those which are of very short duration, like 2 to 5 hours kind of thing, and you need to come up with a solution of all the given questions in that time frame. Examples are like lunchtime contests that happen on CodeShare, or maybe cook-off that happens over there. There are many such contests in various online judges like HackerRank, CodeShare. These contests can actually help you to reduce the time that you take to arrive at a particular solution. Fifth and last, the bonus tip. Be very clear with the fundamentals and basics. Now see, participating in contests, upsolving, having a gang, these all sound very fancy and very lucrative. Like, hey, I should also start coding. But see, to participate in any contest, you first need to know the basic. Like if you're going to a war, you first need to know the basic, that how you swing those swords, right? If obviously you're using swords, or like how do you fire the bullet from the gun if you are going into like modern warfare. Similarly is this coding exercise as well. This is also something like a war for you that you're doing. There are many people over here. You need to be very clear with your basics, and that is like a step 0. Like the very first step that you need to take before you actually start coding and look to how to improve your coding abilities. For example, you should be very proficient in some basic level syntax and some very basic programming concepts before you actually start doing actual coding, right? Now, there are many online courses like HackerRank. It offers a well-designed basic course in various languages. Language should never be a barrier. You just need to know the basic problem solving capability and the basic syntax in that particular language. In that manner, Attain 2 offers many practice DSA questions that can help you to clear your basics and understanding at very basic and beginner level for programming and coding. Lastly, I would like to conclude this video by saying that problem solving, or basically coding, is method of translating the human approach to solving a problem into computer understandable language. Pause the video, rewind and see what I have told. Now this requires just 2 things. First, you need to translate your problem solution that you have arrived at into computer understandable language. So for that, you need to know a basic language, a language in which you can write the basic syntaxes. That is first. And second is your problem solving skill, which will help you to arrive at a solution of a given question in a time-bounded frame manner. Fine? So that is all for this video. Wish you very luck and wish you happy coding ahead. Thank you.